I am the owner of New Yoga Wellness. And let me just give you a little background of who I am. Honestly, I am a registered nurse. I have been for over 15 years. I am also a family nurse practitioner. I have been doing that for over 7 years. I'm also a holistic health coach, yoga instructor, Reiki master. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, a mother and all that. But what I wanted to talk to people about and have them come on and ask questions is about the coronavirus and how we can do our part to stop spreading it. And more importantly, some of the guidelines from the CDC that I want to make sure that everyone's understanding. And if you're not, please send me a question on here so I can answer it for you. So with that being said, let me start with some of the most important things. This is all from the CDC. This isn't from Lovie's little brain. It's documented, and I think they're very important. The most important thing, there is no vaccine for the coronavirus. So if someone says there is, or they're advertising it, it's a lie, unfortunately. And I'll tell you this, just my personal opinion, anything that hasn't been out for more than 2 to 3 years, and in my book, 5 to 10 years, I don't take that vaccine. It's because of the side effects that you may not know that's out there, but there is not a vaccine right now. The best way to avoid the coronavirus from spreading is avoidance. The social distancing of keeping 6 feet is absolutely recommended. Honestly, I'll tell you, stay home. If you're feeling fine, you're not having any issues, don't go out, don't even socialize. You see that they're cutting down or closing restaurants, bars. They are continuing some drive-through services and stuff like that. Even that, you've got to be really weary of, has the person washed their hands, and are they washing their hands the right amount of time? Are they coughing into their elbow versus everybody and does that, and then they go on to the next thing. I actually went to a restaurant the other day, and the lady had gloves on, which is great, except for she touched the boxes, and then she touched the countertop, and then she went straight to preparing my food. To me, I sat there in my mind, I said, well, the coronavirus could be on the box because nobody sprayed that down with Lysol, because Lysol is like a rarity right now. But those are things to be conscious of, so I highly recommend people prepare their foods at home. With that being said, let me go back to some things to protect yourself. Hand washing, hand washing, hand washing. I cannot say that enough. In the hospitals, we wash our hands after we see every single patient. So at home, I'm making my little gremlins wash their hands when they first get up, before they eat, after they're finished their meal. If they played on the iPad or any computer system, I tell them to wash their hands again. We do have Germ-X. The most important thing about Germ-X, it has to have at least 60% of alcohol in it to be effective. I know you're like, how do you have this? Because I am a nurse, I stockpile this stuff. I have it for the whole year. So definitely Germ-X. The biggest notion I want people to know about Germ-X is it's not squeeze and rub in for a second and go about your life. You literally have to make sure it's dry. If the Germ-X does not dry, air dry, it is not killing anything at all. It actually is doing, it's just worthless. You're wasting it in the sense. So make sure your hands dry. Mine are still not dry, so I'm gonna rub them in a little bit more. But Germ-X is also one of the things the CDC is recommending. And I'm also gonna give you some things. Hand washing needs to be at least 20 seconds. In the hospital, all nurses, if you're out there, you would say, we used to sing happy birthday to ourselves. So tell your kids, get their hands wet, a pump of antibacterial soap, happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me, happy birthday, dear Lovie, happy birthday to me. In my house, we have to do it for 30 seconds because there is natural flora in your hands. Some of it is good, some of it is not. Absolutely, hand washing is number one. I covered that the biggest thing, if you are sneezing, we are sneezing into our elbow. And that's because we're used to touching with our hands. The other thing is sneezing into a tissue. If you have that, great. Immediately after you're done, throw it away. And then what do? Wash your hands again, back for 20 seconds, of course. So that's some of the things that I have from about hand washing. Then, of course, it's saying avoid any sick people. I know everybody wants to go check on grandma. We want to go check on mom. We want to check on our neighbors. It's not the time. Give them a call, FaceTime them like we're doing right now, and then we, check on them later, but don't physically go over there. And more importantly, if you are sick, don't go over there. That's my biggest thing. Getting a lot of rest. Hydration, hydration, hydration. Your body needs water to actually do the breakdown process and keep your immune system going. We can't throw all these medicines and colds and vitamins, and I will show you an array of vitamins that I use holistically that have kept my family and myself doing well so far. Again, for people who are joining me, please, if you have any questions, type them in, and I'm going to try my best to answer them. But let me continue. Coughing and sneezing, I review with you as well. Make sure you're washing your hands after. The face mask thing. Now, if you live in my neighborhood, I know you've probably seen me walk around with literally almost a borderline ski mask on. There's allergies out there that I don't want to get, so I'm very prone to that. And some people are getting that confused for a cold. So wearing a face mask is important if you have to go to the doctor's office. They are getting scarce. So I do tell people to, if it's only been on your face, reuse that face mask. There's a couple of people out there that are making face masks that you can order that are reusable. Make sure that they are waterproof. And what that means is there are airborne droplets. So if someone has the coronavirus and they sneeze, it's in the air, it's little air particles, and they float around for a good bit of time. And all it takes for you is to walk into it, and now you have it as well. With that being said, cleaning and disinfecting is the most important things. Doorknobs, light switches, computers, phones. We're always on our cell phones, so please take a Clorox wipe, clean your cell phone as much as you can. Doorknobs, remotes. People forget to wipe down the remote. They're used to picking it up. That is a germ bucket. Make sure you're washing your dishes as well with antibacterial soap, and then I steam clean a lot of my products as well. The EPA recommends that you use household products that have that. If you don't have the ability to get Germ-X or Lysol, what you can do is dilute bleach in the mixture, which is really important. It is 5 tablespoons or 1/3 of a cup of bleach per gallon of water. That's one option. The other option is 4 teaspoons and a quart of water. Mix that up and you can wipe down the same thing, the doorknobs, the remotes, all that, and it just has to dry. Once it's on the surface, let it dry. Make sure for your electronics, you're not putting it into the charging hole or the camera. You can't saturate your products, of course, with it. But doorknobs, light switches, common areas, even the side of the door panel, your fridge. If you have little gremlins like me, they're all over my fridge. Wipe down that panel of your fridge. Make sure you're doing that daily or at least every other day. That's important as well. And those are the major things that I read from the CDC that I want to pass on to you. Yes, Germ-X is scarce. I was lucky enough to go to the Beaufort Walmart, and they absolutely had some little bottles of Germ-X for literally $3. Highway robbery, but at this time, it's so worth it. So I wanted to get into some of the holistic things that I've been using to keep my family healthy. And I do it year round, not even when it's just the flu virus, it's at all times. Of course, everyone needs their women vitamins, always. And then there's men vitamins, absolutely use that. I have kids vitamins. It doesn't matter. I think every child should have this daily. That's another thing I'm using. Vitamin C, I'm using 1,000 milligrams, chewable tablets. My kids are as well. Vitamin C, you could take up to 3,000 milligrams. Whatever you don't need, your body will pee out. Nobody overdoses on vitamin C. So take as much as you want is my recommendation. I'm going to put this aside for a second because there's another side note with vitamin C that's very important. I also use zinc. Zinc is highly recommended. I'm trying to make sure it's seen because I have a little bit of a shadow. Zinc, use it daily. Make sure you're eating. That will also boost your immune system as well. I like to use Severin Silver. I put this on the internet all the time. It is so rare that I can't get it from Amazon. I just went to my local holistic health place. They had one more bottle and I bought it. I'm getting low. And it's literally just 1 or 2 droplets. If you're starting to have some symptoms, if it's sinus symptoms or throat symptoms, you can increase it daily. I've been using this over 2 years and I have not been on antibiotics in 2 years. So that's how much I truly believe in bioactive silver. If you can find it, get it today and keep it in your vitamin cabinet because I think it's very beneficial. This is elderberry syrup. It's the same thing. It's also kind of a natural, let me try to see if I can get a good angle on it. It's kind of a natural mixture. You can see what's in it, cinnamon, a couple of other berries as well. But this one also wards off having to use a whole bunch of vitamins. It's also a natural product. And same thing as honey. I believe you should get local honey because that's going to help you get the local allergens in your system, help your immune system boost up against them specifically. So this is another great product. Let's see if that looks better there. I got this actually at a farmer's market, but you could probably order it online. I'm sure it's available. I also use bioactive silver. This is another company. This is a nasal spray. I spray it in my nose daily as well. I also do a neti pot. And that, I know that people don't like neti pots, but this is a time of year where you're breathing in the allergens. If you happen to breathe in some of the coronavirus, you can actually flush it through and get it out of your system versus it staying in and causing you to get sick. So definitely, this is something to pick up as well. Your local GNCs, holistic stores will have it. It is a supplement. It is not a prescription. So absolutely try using it. Airborne, I have been using this since I was a registered nurse. So I am 15 years in on Airborne. I believe in it. I think it's absolutely beneficial. It has an increased dose of vitamin C, a couple of other things. I believe zinc's in here, 13 other minerals and herbs. It's okay to use with children 12 and up, and they also make a kids version. So don't be afraid to use that as well. Then there is, now I know I have calcium on here, but the big thing that's on here that matters is that there is vitamin D in here. So I recommend vitamin D and vitamin C, and the reason why they have properties of antimicrobials. They actually work against gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria. I know that we're dealing with a virus, but we have to do what we can. There's not much things out there that are specific for the virus other than keeping your immune system up, and that's my goal to inform you of that. So like I said, definitely vitamin C, vitamin D, if you're looking for that antimicrobial effect, of course. Now I'm going to get into taking a little sip of my tea. I drank Lemon Zinger, and this is the company I use. Buy Lemon Zinger by whoever you want. I am not marketing specifically for anybody's, they're all good, but lemon is a lifesaver for your throat, especially if it's warmed. Excuse me, want to take a sip. It's relaxing, it's calming, and that's another thing we need at this time, just to be a little bit more calm about our life. So take that moment, snuggle up, have some tea, let it clear your throat of any allergens or any of the phlegm you've had in your throat, clear it out. Remember to gargle with salt water as well. You can do that 2 to 3 minutes. That will help clear up your throat. All those old little tricks that your grandmother or mom used to do are actually beneficial, so do them, right? With that being said, now I'll switch gears a little bit to some more of my holistic things. And I want to be correct. I use a diffuser throughout my house, and diffusers are great for a multitude of reasons, and I'll give you a couple of the ones I use. Tea tree is one of the ones I like a lot of. It specifically is for purifying cleansing, and wellness. So tea tree, if you can get that, once again, I'm not marketing this company. If you want to do Delara or whatever the other company's name is, that's fine. But tea tree oil in your diffuser, have it running. I have it running in my room right now. I also have salt lamps that I plug in on both sides of my rooms and throughout the house. I have a huge salt lamp downstairs in the center of my house, and that's for purification as well. So that's one. Then I have eucalyptus. I live by eucalyptus. I give it to my daughter who sometimes have sinus issues, and I'll wipe it right underneath her nose. You can also dab it onto your wrist if you don't want to put it in a diffuser. But that one specifically will help open. It has a menthol effect. So it opens up your airways, your nostrils, your sinuses, your throat, even your lungs. So that's one that I think is very beneficial to have as well. And then there is peppermint. Peppermint is awesome as well. It's uplifting. It's one of the ones that's for stimulation and balance. So that's another one I think is helpful. It will also open your airways as well. And it's also good for nausea. So if you're ever nauseous, take some peppermint, wipe it underneath your nose, put it on your wrist, smell it every few hours. It will help with that as well. So those are some of the oils that I like and would recommend to keep using throughout the time right now. Some of the things I wanted to, because some people aren't keen on using vitamins or going out and buying them. I understand, especially right now, everything is scarce. So we have to be smart in what we're buying and what we're spending. So zinc, since I said that was a good vitamin to use, if you can't afford to buy the vitamin or you can't find it, there's zinc-enriched foods, pumpkin seed, spinach, chicken, grass-fed beef. So make sure it's grass-fed beef if you're going to eat beef. Mushrooms also has zinc. And there's many more. I just want to pick a few to tell you about. Vitamin C enriched foods. Of course, we know orange. Kiwi is high in vitamin C's. Broccoli as well. Kale, strawberries, and bell peppers. So if you're looking to maybe mix your dinner with some of these foods, please do. Bell peppers are great if you're doing tacos or you're making some hamburgers or something like that. Definitely throw that in. And the other thing for vitamin D, because once again, it's an antimicrobial. If you have that in your system, you're more likely to rid some of these bacteria and this disease and keep your immune system up. Milk has vitamin D, salmon has vitamin D, eggs, and most orange juices is fortified with vitamin D as well. Again, I want to beat in that vitamin C and vitamin D are pertinent for antimicrobials against gram-negative and gram-positive, which is amazing. So I highly recommend that people use those things as well. Now I'm going to get into my little Reiki side a little bit and get into my yoga side as well and give you some things that I believe in and some stones that you can use to help either ward off or prevent any of those things from happening. So let me show you what I have and what I use. This is one of my books. Yeah, I like beat it to death. I highly recommend it. I love it. It's one of my Bibles. I use it when I'm doing Reiki, and then I have another Reiki book that I recommend. And for them, I don't know if you can see, but this is a raw ruby, and then this one's a tumbled ruby. Carrying them with you. The healing properties are it strengthens the body's immune system against infectious disease, fortifies the heart and circulation, and combats low blood pressure. It also helps with eye infections if it's worn as jewelry as well. So I'm using these and having my children carry raw ruby stones specifically to help boost their immune system. So you can get that at a gym show. You could probably order it online, but that also does help with your immune system. If you are a Reiki master or you do Reiki on yourself, another stone that I recommend, I'll show you a book. I'm showing all my secrets, but I don't mind, because the more educated everybody else is out there, the better, and most likely somebody is willing to give me an infection or my children. So this is one of my Reiki crystal books that I like. And specifically for the immune system, they recommend, if you're doing Reiki, red jasper. Okay, that should be put on what? The root chakra, of course. That's one. And they also recommend citrine on the solar plexus to make sure we're cleaning out and keeping good gut flora. And with that being said, so let me say that again: red jasper, also this one, and then I like to use, I have it on my wrist, is green aventurine as well. I always say green is healing, so I wear that, and that's what I'm asking for the earth, is give me healing, make sure I stay healthy. But that also can be used as well if you're doing Reiki on solar plexus. This one's going to be on your root, but those are great stones to have. Red jasper, citrine, I have it all over my house. But specifically, it's great for immune support if you're doing Reiki. Let me put that to the side. My red jasper wants to stay with me, so I'll let it be right there. The other thing I wanted to say about the gut flora, probiotics. I know people like, probiotics, what is this? Absolutely take it. It's going to keep the good bacteria in your stomach. So if you do get a virus, you do get a cold, that bacteria from your probiotics will kill it and push it out of your system. If you don't have good flora in your system, then you're most likely and susceptible to actually getting viruses, or even a stomach bug. So definitely take your probiotics. It is helping. I actually forgot to bring those shots up here that I take. If you go to the grocery store, they're called immunity shots. It's also called energizing shots, and they have like a beauty shot. But I really use the what do you call it? The immunity one, specifically because there's ginger in there. There is cayenne pepper in there. Those things will help boost your immune system. So take a shot of those once a day, once every other day. I at least try to get it twice a week in, on top of all the things I showed you that I take. I absolutely recommend that you get some from the grocery store. You can also make it at home. I will post some recipes on that as well, about that. And I just want to take a break. If anyone, any of the viewers, if y'all have any questions, please type them in. I will respond to them. If you don't type it in now, I can go back to my feed, DM me the question, and I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as possible, because that is my goal. As a registered nurse practitioner, I'm doing this for free. I'm doing this to give back to the community. I love everyone that's out there. I need for people to stay alive. So I'm giving this information for free because I need my society to stay here. I need it to grow. And we're gonna fight this together. You're not alone. And it's hard to get into the doctors right now. So these are some few things that you can do that can help prevent you getting further sick, of course. Let me take a sip again of my lemon zinger for my throat. Remember, hydration, hydration, hydration. If you've been on my Facebook page, we're gonna go into the yoga aspect. I have listed this, and it literally shows all the things that yoga can help benefit or decrease. Anxiety. If you're not having anxiety right now with your kids at home doing daily learning, to you, I mean, you got a recipe and a heart of gold and a mind of gold. So we need those things to keep us grounded. So definitely, if you see this on my page, please go read some of that. But with that being said, I took some specific things from another book. This is one of my books I use. It's called Yoga Cure. The author's up here. You can order it. I got it from Amazon, and pretty much it really treats all these things, and we're going to go over that as well. And then I have another Bible, which is huge. I use, and in this book, it tells you holistic tips of yoga positions that will help decrease like sinus issues, congestion, all those things. And with that being said, so let me go through them. For colds, It recommends doing shoulder stands. I know that may be a difficult position for people to do, but lucky for you, there's going to be a follow-up to this video specifically where I'm going to do a sequence to fight cold and flu. So all the movements in the sequence are to help you either drain your lymphatic system, boost your immune system. So definitely watch, because I think that would be very pertinent. So shoulder stands will help with bronchitis, asthma, throat ailments, sinus blockages, and it's also because you're upside down, putting a little pressure on your head, and it treats colds. Plow is another one. There's a supported position that I can teach you during my series, and that would help you as well. Supported and unsupported fish, that will help open up your airway so you're able to take a deeper breath, open up all the alveoli that's in your lungs so that you're not holding on to fluid. So that's another pose I will show you, supported and unsupported as well. Down dog, just basic down dog a couple times will help you as well with colds. And then one of my other favorite is wide leg folds. And like I said, I'm going to put this into a series so that will help with that. Also, in my Yoga Cure book that I had for flu, specifically, it recommends doing standard forward fold with your elbows actually interlaced. And most people, if you've done yoga, it's kind of like ragdoll, you're swinging side to side. You don't have to swing side to side. It literally is a forward fold, arms across, and you're just letting some of the drainage come forward. You're pushing circulation to your head, opening up that airway as well, filling your lungs, having your intestines also have some blood flow in the opposite direction. Seated, one leg forward fold. That's where you're bending one of your knees in. The other leg is straight. Make sure you turn your body, make your navel align with your leg, and do a forward fold. And that series I'm actually going to do with my daughter so that we can get the kids also in line with trying to get their immune system up as well. And then my favorite, feet up the wall. So you line yourself up the wall. If these are your feet, you do like that, your body is flat, and just stay there. You can even put something weighted on your feet and stay there for about 5 minutes. When you're done, you feel light, refreshed, everything. So I'm going to teach you that. I'm going to make a video of some of those poses specifically because I want people to be able to combat some of these things, combat stress, being, cabin fever, or if you're not feeling that, once again, you are a very lucky person when you're not able to get out. And the weather, unfortunately, being the way it is, we're not able to go out. We also have social distancing, so we're not supposed to be within 6 feet of other people. I agree with that. I just want to reinforce that 6 feet is the number that the CDC is recommending. People aren't abiding by that. I highly recommend it just because it's going to lessen your chance of picking up an airborne disease. Yes, this virus is airborne. So hand washing, distancing, keep yourself in your house. That is the most important things to do right now. Okay. And then as far as in yoga, I like to, and it's not even yoga, just holistically to tell yourself some things, reminders, because I think we get a little down on ourselves and we question that, am I getting sick? I got a little sniffle. Is it that? It may not really be that. So, but if you give yourself positive affirmations, you can make sure that it isn't that. And so I wrote one that you can copy or you can make up your own, but give me a second. All right, let's see. Can you see it? I sparkle when I sweat. That's what I like to say. Positive affirmation. I take nothing for granted, especially my health. I have everything when my body, mind, and spirit all are in harmony. I am encircled by a healthy and healing aura. May this excellent state of health that I have experienced continues. I am appreciative and give thanks to my higher power for focusing this energy to me, and so be it. So that's one of the affirmations I absolutely recommend people to say or do. And then the other things, another holistic thing, have you ever heard of body tapping or EFT? Body tapping is another way that you can boost your immune system. Dr. Oz. If you want to Google it, you can put in body tapping plus Dr. Oz, and there's a whole video on it. And the goal of it is to boost your immune system. And I'll show you some of the pictures that you can do. The 4 lumps, this is one of them. I'll post it on my page. You can take a picture. It will be up. And then here's another one. And these are some of the areas that you should tap on that you're trying to increase your immune system. So the ones that I do on a regular basis, and literally it's taking 2 fingers. Unfortunately, I'll tell you my nails are a little too long right now. You really should be using your fingers, but you're tapping here. And you can go all the way to the outside and tap here. Underneath, on your cheekbones, tap, tap, tap. You can repeat, I am healthy, I am strong, whatever mantra you want to tell yourself or affirmation. You can tap below the nose or top lip, and you just tap. However long you feel, I say at least 30 seconds. The chin. And you just tap and keep tapping. There's the clavicle. Right after you find your clavicle right underneath, you tap there. I do it together. And this, I feel like, does boost my immune system as well as makes my voice sound funny right now. There's one in your sternum as well. And then there's 2 right here that I like. Really is for your spleen. Your spleen does a lot of work. People don't know that. It's kind of right underneath your bra strap, right where your ribs are starting to float out almost. Tap there. So again, here, underneath, lip, chin, clavicle, sternum, spleen spots. There's more places you can do underneath the arms as well. There's also one on your hand. There's one on the opposite side of your hand. There's also one on your wrist. There's a whole bunch of mapping that you can use, but these are the basic ones that I stick with. And you're tapping with 2 fingers. You can also try hers. I will post this on my page as well. So those are some things that I absolutely recommend that you try using to get your own immune system. You can do it multiple times a day. I do it whenever I feel it. If I feel a little congestion, I'm like, let me just start to try to tap and get it going. Sinus pressure, same thing here. I'm going to tap. So those are some of the things I recommend that you do. Continue to try using to make sure your immune system stays up. So other than that, is there any questions out there of the people who are on right now that have questions about the coronavirus, holistic tips, Reiki, any yoga positions? Like I said, I will be doing a series on yoga positions. So that are specifically for the flu, congestion, chest congestion. Remember, try to do a lot of chest openers using a bolster and actually sitting there and having your body up. Supported fish, unsupported fish. That video will definitely be coming pretty soon. And I'll just take some questions. Anyone who's watching, please send me a question. I would love to answer it for you, or any questions or ideas or anything that you heard or something I said today that you weren't clear on. I'd love to answer for you. I see a couple of people watching right now. If you have any questions, please type it in so I can answer you. While that's going on, I don't see any. I definitely do see people watching. I also, the other thing is, I have a ton of latex gloves because I am a registered nurse, wearing gloves to go grocery shopping. I have my husband go out right now. He's the only one that goes out of our house. The rest of us are quarantined if we need something. He wears latex gloves, uses them when he goes to get his buggy, get his groceries, and then what he does, he takes them off and then he throws them away. I recommend doing that. Do not try to use reusable ones because there's a video I want to post from a friend of mine, Alice. And with that being said, I want to take a moment and say thank you to all my frontline nurses, doctors, nurse practitioners, NPs that are out there right now putting their life on the line. And the sad thing is, I'm not going to go on a big rant, they don't have the equipment. They don't have the face masks. They're not using N95s. They were told to use bandanas when they run out. That's unfortunately unacceptable because we're asking people to go fight a war. I'm ex-Army. I would never go to battle without my M16. So why would I ever, as a nurse, go fight without a face mask on? So if we get some, or you have the ability to donate some, I know a ton of nurses who need them. Please, I've been recycling my face masks because I'm the only one using them when I do go out in public, but I'm even running low. I have maybe 10 left. So that's why my kids aren't going out. But I just want to tell them, everyone who's out there, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for what you're doing, because you're putting your life on your line, and I'm going to send you protection, love, encouragement, everything I can, because if it wasn't for y'all, it would be spreading. But the biggest thing, the people who are at home right now watching me that are healthy, stay home. Stay home. I had a friend, Alice, who has flown up to New York, where they're having one of the biggest, baddest outbreaks up there as well, same as Washington. They're sending me letters as well to come out. Unfortunately, I chose to protect my family than to go out and most likely compromise myself as well as my family. But for all the people who are doing it, you have my utmost respect. And I honestly applaud you. If you need any of this information to help keep your immune system while you're working, please send me a message. Absolutely. If I have to donate some of my products to you, I absolutely will. Again, I just wanted to take this time and thank everybody who joined me. Please look forward to some yoga videos. If you have any question about my aromatherapies or carrying my lucky friend Jasper with you at all time, is to help your immune system. Definitely wear that. Vitamin C, vitamin D, or antimicrobials, definitely use those so that your system is definitely boosted. Hydration, I cannot stress that enough. Hydration, hydration, hydration. Whenever you're going through any little kind of cold or sinus, you need to stay hydrated, so definitely do that. Lemon is great. Putting lemon in lemon water, heating it up in the morning, helps clear your throat. It actually makes an acidic environment. Again, I thank you, Alice, for that one part that you sent me. Germex, of course, it has to dry all the way to be effective. And then cleaning and Lysoling all the major things that you use daily, your faucets, your doorknobs, your light switches, remotes. I absolutely encourage that. If there isn't any questions, I want to say thank you to everybody who joined me. This will be available to watch multiple times. And if you have any questions, or send them to me as soon as you can. I will respond back to you. From my heart to yours, namaste. Happy Tuesday. Stay safe. Bye.